All right, what is up, everybody? So, Shao Scout 0013 here, coming in with the LVO review of the top 8 lists that were there. So, LVO happened this weekend. If you didn't know, if you haven't gotten the chance, you can head over to Yavin Base on YouTube and check it out. He was able to live stream everything that happened, and it was a great weekend. It was really cool to see all the types of lists that were played. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I'm about to tell you who won. Skip ahead 10 seconds. Obi-Wan won. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan. Yeah, Obi-Wan. Whatever. I'm trying to make a joke. Probably fell flat. Definitely a delivery issue. But yeah, it was really cool to see Kenobi wind up winning and pulling it. It's just cool to see a unit that is often overlooked and underused winning at LVO, and I would like to really see him play this list at Worlds in 2 months. So yeah, that was just really exciting to see. And I'll go over that list in a little bit. I do want to go over the giveaways and talk about that before we go over the rest of the top eight, I should say, because I'm going to go ahead and discuss them today. But first, if you haven't already, you can win a standard token set if you become a Discord member. All you have to do is be a member on Discord, on my Discord, to be able to win a standard token set. I'll go ahead and show you guys the standard sets. It's basically just 18 tokens. Gives you 2 commander, 2 operatives, 6 core, 3 special forces, 3 support, and 2 heavy. If you play a lot of the battle forces, you're probably going to be better off getting the battle force token set, which is really nice as well. But these are some amazing order tokens. Really, just ComScan is an Etsy store selling the best Star Wars Legion order tokens in the galaxy, pairing the satisfying tactile qualities of a casino chip with high-definition graphics that could come straight from the bridge at the profundity. You'll be using improvised orders just to keep drawing from the bag because these things are so freaking awesome. So I highly recommend checking out ComScan on Etsy, the link will be in the description down below, and you're going to get a 10% off discount code by using Shadow Scout. All you got to do is look in the description for the discount code and for all the lists. I'm going to go ahead and just leave a link to all the lists down below. Actually, no, I won't do that. It's on Game Uplink. If you haven't been to Game Uplink, go ahead and check that out. But at least the link for these. Usually, the links for the lists that I create are in the description if you didn't know. But yeah, if you want this, which I highly recommend, they're high quality tokens, and the fact that they've got these really cool display on them is just really cool. So yeah, so for that giveaway for the Discord, all you gotta do is be a member. And then second giveaway chance is going to be a Patreon member. If you're a Patreon member and you are anything, if you're from $1 up to $25, if you are a member, you're going to be entered in to win the token giveaway. If you are a member of Patreon and a member of Discord, you get 2 chances to win, but you're only going to wind up winning 1. You're not going to be able to win 2, obviously. But yeah, there's 2 different chances to wind up winning. And so thank you everyone who is a Patreon member for supporting the channel and what you do to help me to do these giveaways and stuff like that. I really, really appreciate it. And the third way is to technically enter in on YouTube. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment down below to wind up winning. And if you haven't already been to theburnacademy.com, you can go ahead and head there. This helps me out personally. It is my job. I am a trainer, and I've been a trainer for over 11 years now. So if you want to head over to theburnacademy.com and subscribe for 50 cents a day, you can get 3, 4, 5, and 6 day week workout programs, and there's multiples of them. You can get 30-minute torture programs in case you're short on time. There's stuff to do at home. There's stuff to do for your abs, stuff to do for cardio. There's 120 different recipes in case you need meal ideas. This is a great way to be able to connect with a professional trainer and to make sure that if you have any questions, you can ask away. These are just a very few of the clients that I've helped. Jen has lost 80 pounds. Susan lost a ton of weight. And then Katie and Michael also lost a lot of weight. So feel free to go ahead and sign up and get the help you need to change your body. But all right, so that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get to the top 8. Let's go over number 8 first. So David came 8th. He had a 9-point bid and played the Wookiee Defenders. He had a regular Chewbacca, no upgrades, which I think is pretty normal and pretty standard For that Chewbacca, sometimes you're going to see Seize or, Protector on him, but he can only Protector or Guardian other commanders, so there's no need to put anything on him. He had 5 Wookiee warriors, 3 of them with the battle shield and recon, 1 of them with just the battle shield, and then a naked one, probably just to do some objective things. And then he had 3 Fluttercrafts with the Bombardier and Tacticom's unit, which is really a smart idea because then you don't have to worry about giving an order to the Fluttercrafts. All you gotta do is just give the orders to the Wookiees and the most important Wookiees. And you're benefiting from all of the Wookiee command cards for the other Wookiees, while the Fluttercrafts get an order from Tacticom's unit. So, very great idea. 9 activations, top 8. Congratulations, David. That was really cool. It's a very simple, repetitive list, and yeah, there's really nothing to it, but very good. The top 7, so number 7, was Michael. And Michael had the infamous Yoda Padme. He had Force Push, Barrier, and Guidance on Yoda, along with improvised orders. Nothing on Padme. 2 Phase 1 Clone Troopers with the RPS, just in case he needed to get anything that's anti-armor, and it's a nice long-range, single rainbow, I should say. And then a Phase 2 Clone Trooper with Boil, probably mostly for the extra Surge token for defense for this, for Boil, for the Guardian. Sometimes it's hard for me to justify Boil on a Phase 2 because it's a more expensive unit, but and more expensive just for a Surge token. But, I mean, really, it's just not that bad. They gain Scout, and he is the leader. So he is the last one to die. So at least everybody gets the chance. You have 5 chances to Guardian, Yoda, and or Padme. And then you've got 2 full ARC Troopers with the environmental gear and the DC-15X. And then you have a strike team with Echo. I think the environmental gear is very situational. Kyler and I talked a lot about this whenever he had environmental gear on his ARC Troopers. And, not all tables are going to have a lot of difficult terrain. Some will, and it's great for the relentless shot with, Yoda's 2-pip, but it sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. And, if you have extra points to spare and you really are trying to get to 800, then it's probably a really good one to put on them. So, yeah, very easy and very standard Yoda Padme list, in my opinion, but pretty nice. And he had top 7, so yeah, not too bad, not too bad. And then let's look at number 6. So Philip with the 14-act Ewok list. He had C-3PO, and then he had a Han Solo with Underworld connections, up close and personal, and environmental gear. He had Logray with improvised orders and secret ingredients. And secret ingredients is amazing. Basically, you get an aim or a dodge at the beginning of the round, and then at the start of this unit's activation, he can choose to pull that aim or dodge from the card, and then if he wanted to aid it, he could do it without gaining a suppression. So this card makes Logray very viable and very versatile. So it's really nice to be able to have him as even like a supporting unit or just whatever he wants, but yeah, not too bad. And then he had Wicket with Force Dwellers and Situational Awareness along with Tenacity. And the situational awareness can go a long way, especially with the independent dodge, with nimble, low profile, and the Forest Dwellers to give him Scout 1 and a dodge in the very first round, and then Tenacity to give him, 4 dice in melee, 3 red and a black with Pierce 1. It's so nice. So, yeah, very, very strong Wicket. And then Chewbacca with Protector, which I think is probably the best upgrade you can put on Chewie besides Tenacity, because obviously he's going to have tons of wounds from Guardian. And then you've got 2 regular Ewok skirmishes with the Axe and Call to Arms. And then you've got 4 naked Ewok skirmishers. You've got 2 Ewok slingers with the Ewok Trapper. And then just a naked Ewok slinger, bringing you to 14 activations using all of Han's cards as well as all of the Bright Tree cards and a Wicket's Sneaky Scouting. So it's pretty cool to see. He did a really good job, and to make, the top 6, not bad at all. So this was a good idea. 14 acts is a lot to kind of go up against. And to see an 8-act list go up against the Bright Tree, I mean, to see an 8-act list win against this is is insane. And so Gar is really strong, obviously, because we have a lot of Gar lists. I think it was like six, or no, 5 out of the top 8 are Gar. So, phew. I don't think anything with Gar needs to change. I think Gar is nice. It's in a great place. I think Rebels just need a little bit more help because it seems to me like the Ewoks are doing amazing. And even the Wookiees are doing absolutely amazing, even though they're not, Rebels. But Rebels need something to kind of continue helping them. They do have the FD cannons and Ahsoka. They do have Operative Luke, which I think I don't know why a lot of people are sitting on it. It's probably just because it's hard to come up with a very strong gunline to help support Luke. But I think there are ways to get him there. I just don't like playing Rebels myself because of my playstyle. But yeah, that's just me. But I like this 14-act Ewok Bright Tree list. It's very nice. All right, so number 5 was Blizzard Force. So again, we're going to see Blizzard Force in the top 8 with the standard, Vader, 2 HRUs, 2 Snows, and 4 Bikes, which is 9 activations with a 13-point bid. The Ewoks had a 7-point bid, and Michael didn't have any bid. But yeah, to have 13 points bid is a lot. And Vader had improvised, burst of speed, force push, and saber throw, which saber throw really came in handy after the immobilized tokens. If you did not get to see Will's, battle against Echo Base, you gotta watch it. That was an amazingly close game. Like, it literally came down to the wire. And to see Echo Base versus Blizzard Force on a Hoth map with hostile environment and major offensive and breakthrough, it's burned inside my mind, literally everything, because of how perfect that scenario was. So, such a fun game. Day 2 on Saturday. I think it's the first game, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, absolutely wonderful. Such a cool game. But yeah, the RT97C with the DLT19, so you're throwing 6 at range 4, 3 red, 3 white, and then you get to add in the 3 other white whenever you're at range 3. Super strong. Really like it. A snowtrooper with the flamethrower and frag grenade, which is a very powerful range 1 attack unit. And then a very supportive, snowtrooper with just portable scanners, and then 4 bikes. It's nice. Really cool to see the different versions of the Vader 4 bikes coming in to the top 8. Yeah. Not too bad. Good job. And so let's get to the top 4 now. All right, number 4, JJ Wood with, again, a 14-act Ewok list. Very few changes to Phil's, I think. Let's see. Yeah, Phil. Okay, so, he had Underworld connections on Han along with environmental gear. JJ decided to have Esteemed Leader up close and recon. Law Gray was the same with improvised orders and secret ingredients. Wicket was basically the same, minus tenacity, because he had Force Dwellers and situational. Chewbacca had a few more upgrades with Seize and Recon. And then you had 4 naked Ewok skirmishers and 2 Ewok skirmishers with the Axe and Call to Arms. And then 2 naked Ewok slingers, and then 1 with the Trapper. So very small changes and a 16-point bid instead of a 7-point bid. So a little bit more of a bid and small changes, but obviously it seemed to have worked out to be in the top 4. So, very good job, Ewoks. It's really cool to see how well they're doing and what's going on, and the fact that 14 acts is probably why Rebels are winning as well. The higher acts for them, the better. Just tons of bodies coming straight at you. All right, so let's look at the top 3. Number 3. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I think I messed it up. One more time. All right, so let's take real quick look. I think it was J.R. Dieter who made number 3. Let's take a look real fast at LVO. So if you haven't already, you can just do what I'm doing. You can go to LVO or go to Game Uplink, type in LVO, and then take a look at the top 8. I don't know why. So, yeah, so JR. And JR had, the Ewoks. So, JJ, my bad. JJ Wood did not have the Ewok list. That is my fault. JJ Wood had Yoda with Burst of Speed, Force Push, and Barrier. He had a Chewbacca with Recon Intel. And then he had a Phase 2 with the Mortar. He had a Phase 1 with the RPS 6, and then another Phase 1 with Boyle, which I think makes the most sense, again, because it's a cheaper unit, and you don't want to just use a expensive unit to Guardian, albeit that reliable one really does help. And then 2 full ARC Troopers with the DC-15, and then an ARC Trooper Strike Team with Echo. 8 activations, 800 points, and I like it. I mean, obviously Chewie and Yoda have really good synergy, and, size matters sometimes is definitely in there for a reason, because objective play, it makes it so nice to have Chewie helping out Yoda, especially when Yoda has used maybe Burst of Speed himself and he's immobilized. Then you can just use Size Matters Not to move him that round, and then even play, Size Matters Not for another Speed 3 on the next turn to just move Yoda so far ahead and slingshot him forward into your opponent's lines. Well, maybe everyone else does objectives or goes after your opponent's objective holder. But yeah, the Phase 2 with the Mortar Trooper I like a lot because it's suppressive and critical 1. So if you're fire supporting, then that extra, like if you're fire supporting the ARC Troopers, having that extra critical 1 with, Sharpshooter 1 and Pierce with the DC 15, it's so nice, so nice. And you're rolling a ton of dice at range 2 to 4, so you'd be rolling 7 dice because you've got, 4, 5, 6 with this one because you don't have anyone in the extra slot. So 6 dice, range 4, that you're adding to another, I think 6 dice with the ARC Troopers because you're rolling 4, 5, 6, yeah. So 12 dice, not too bad at range 3. So it's a great shot and it's suppressive. So I like this list a lot. I think it makes sense to swap out Padme sometimes with Chewie, especially if you want a better Yoda play. Like if you really enjoy Yoda, I think Chewbacca is the best way to go. I think if you enjoy playing arcs and letting them do a lot of the work, then maybe Yoda Padme, in my opinion. But that's obviously just my opinion. And yeah, that was fair. That was really awesome. So that was, I think, top 4. Yeah, because JJ Wood, I think, was number 4. Yeah. All right, now let's go to JR. JR was the 14-act list that I just mentioned and brought up. So, yeah. All right, so top 2. All right, the people in the finals was a Yoda with Force Barrier, Force Push, and Battle Meditation. And then Padme, nothing on her. Phase 1s with the Z6, 2 Phase 1s with the RPS, and 2 full arcs. One of them had Echo, and one of them had the DC-15, and then a Clone Commander at the end with Improvised Orders, which is a great way to help set up fire supports. And I believe that these 3 are very crucial to setting up some of the best fire support options. And even if there's a way to maybe get rid of, Improvised Orders and put Seize the Initiative on her, or, I think Battle Meditation is okay, but, there's ways to use it because maybe you don't want to give it to Yoda, maybe, or instead of Diplomatic Cover, you don't want to, obviously, she has authoritative, but yeah, if you wanted to give orders to someone else to maybe set up some more fire supports, you can, because the Clone Commander is going to be able to direct maybe one of the RPSs, and then maybe instead of giving an order to Padme, you give it to maybe the other Phase 1s with the Z6. So you've got at least a Z6 and an RPS ready to fire support, and then you draw the arcs, and then you start fire supporting with them. So you are fire supporting the arcs. And Echo, man, yeah, being able to fire with Echo at range 3 with critical 1 and then an RPS at an armored unit definitely does some damage. But I think Josh was able to take out the 14-act list, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was him that was able to beat the Ewok list. I forgot exactly who it was up against, but definitely a great game of hostage exchange. And I believe that whenever you do have a low activation list. If you are going up against a high activation list, something like hostage exchange, where there's only really one objective you really have to focus on, like a hostage unit. There's not, like breakthrough or payload. Key position would also be kind of tough because of the fact that there's 14 against your 8, almost double. So just have to focus on a hostage is amazing. And the fact that you can not only use aggressive negotiations to do a speed 1 move with that hostage unit, and then you move 2 other times, so that's 3 times, and then a 4th time with Yoda's guidance, and then maybe the next turn, if you played Size Matters Not, you can guidance 2 other times, and then move 2 other times. So for 2 rounds, you can move a hostage unit 4 times, and by round 3, they're definitely safe. So it's just a matter of dwindling down your opponent. I usually don't play like that. I usually tend to just go hard and making sure that the other person just cannot hold on to the objective, whether or not mine is in my deployment zone or not. Hostage exchange is probably the most simplest objective in my opinion. Again, because you're just focusing on making sure that either your opponent's hostage can't make it in while yours does, or making sure that your opponent just cannot pick up the hostage and make it impossible for them. But Josh Cook did an amazing job, and to see him go to the finals was awesome. And so that brings me to the final list, what you've all been waiting for if you did not see the finals. So, Obi-Wan coming in clutch. So, Obi-Wan had Force Push, Force Barrier, and Protector. And at one point, I saw so many surges on the board. So many. And I think it's because of one of his cards. It's whichever one allows him to get all the surge tokens for however many people are nearby. It's probably his 1 pip. I wouldn't have, I think the 2 pip. And then, no, it was his 3 pip. So when he issues an order to that unit, it gains a surge token for each other friendly unit at range 1 of it. Like 8 different surge tokens on each person, basically. So I think those were the exact, I could be mistaken. Let's see. So Josh Cook and Nathan. Let's see what Nathan had as his commands, I should say. So Nathan, yeah, he had hello there. Bring it down. Oh, yeah, because he had Cody. What the heck am I thinking? So I forgot that, yeah, Cody was in his arms, or in his army as well, which did a fantastic job too, and we can explain that. So Bring It Down was in there, Aggressive Negotiations, and then Diplomatic Cover. So almost there. Have I Ever Let You Down would have been a really good one to kind of see as well. But Aggressive Negotiations, when you can bring it in, I would bring it in, because especially if you're playing Hostage Exchange, it's very nice to be able to have them do a free speed 1 move. But Obi-Wan and Clone Commander Cody had a very great duo. And then Padme with Seize the Initiative and the looted E5 blaster, probably to set up a really good fire support at range 3, because she's got Sharpshooter too. So being able to shoot a red, a white, and then fire supporting with a Clone Trooper unit, just going to destroy, because obviously there's no cover. 2 phase 2 units with the phase 2 mortar and the medic, which I think is probably, I think this is the best build for a phase 2 when it comes to upgrade personnel, or personnel upgrades. I think these 2 are the best. I think the phase 2 mortar is better than the Z6, but the way that I set up my stuff and to work with the arcs is I want that extra critical 1 and to spin that aim as Pierce rather than to re-roll. So yeah, that's why I like the phase 2s, and it's way cheaper, and I can fit the Clone Medic in, because yeah, a phase 2 mortar with a Clone Medic is, let's see, that's 93 points. And if I were to just have, let's see, because he had a medic on there. All right, so let's take a look. What is the Z6? That's 87, and then to have a Clone Medic on there as well would be 102. So yeah, that's 9 more points. That's 9 points in guard is a lot. So two phase 2s with the mortar and clone, a phase 1 with the RPS 6 and clone medic. So basically, he can guardian like crazy with Kenobi, and then heal him up 3 different times. He's got a strike team with Echo and then an ATRT with comms relay, because Commander Cody's going to direct the vehicle, who can also then give it to any of the phase 2s or even phase 1. And then Padme has authoritative, which she can then just give her unit to another clone trooper unit to set up any kind of fire support stuff. And yeah, that was awesome. And then the high velocity thing, which the 5th trooper has something on, which is really nice about, you can't use dodges when you're getting shot at as high. So high velocity prevents you from spending dodge tokens. If Obi-Wan gets targeted by a high velocity shot, he cannot spend dodges. But if the phase 2s were targeted by a high velocity shot, Obi-Wan can guardian that and then spend his dodge tokens, because he is not the target of the high velocity shot. He is just using guardian. So Obi-Wan can technically use his dodges when he's using guardian, even up against a high velocity. So it's just a really good counter to high velocity in the list. And then obviously Clone Commander Cody can also start a fire support with his amazing range 1-4 lethal impact surge to crit shot. So we have Clone Commander Cody, shoot his 2 red, black, and white, and then you're fire supporting with an RPS, which is another red, black, white. So you would be shooting 3 red, 2 black, and a white for 6 dice at range 4. Critical, surge to crit, I should say, and impact 3. Jeez, yeah. Such an amazing shot. Especially when he gets an order and gains an aim. Such a great list and some good synergy here. I really love to see Clone Commander Cody with Obi-Wan. It just thematically is amazing. Padme's in there just for the extra tokens and to probably set up some fire supports. So great list overall. Kind of a random ATRT, but not out of place. And I think it's probably better to have an ATRT in there than a BARC, mostly because the BARC is not going to benefit from the direct vehicle, because the direct vehicle is at range 1-2, and the BARC is going to probably be moving way out of range to be able to really benefit from that. And then it's also just taking the longest possible route to just stay direct to a clone trooper. But yeah, and at least with the ATRT and comms relay, you don't have to give it to a clone trooper like the regular commander does. You can give it to Obi-Wan, or you can give it to Padme, or anything like that, but it's not bad, yeah. And to be able to also have Observe on there for extra, rerolls is also really nice. So not surprising that this list did an amazing job, because everything just works really well together. And that's the thing with Republic is I don't think anything should change, especially Exemplar or anything like that, because it's not just any Gar list is going to win. You really have to figure out which ones can pair well together, which ones can start fire supports well together, how you can stay alive a little bit more. There's more thought that has to really go into the list building than any other faction, I think. And then CIS is probably second. You need to have a lot of thought in, but Empire and Rebels, you just as long as you can create dodges and Rebels, and as long as you can generate aims in Empire, you're gonna be doing great. But yeah, that's it. That's mostly it, guys. Sorry that I had to do a random little game uplink thing, but hopefully you figured out how to go search for these yourself as well with that little process. So I just want to reiterate the giveaways that are going on. The giveaways for the Discord members. So if you're just a Discord member, feel free to go ahead and hop on, and or if you're not a Discord member, feel free to hop on and gain the ability to win the order tokens, be a Clan of Shadows Patreon member to also have a giveaway going on for the members only. And so if you're a member of the Patreon and you win, obviously you're not going to win the Discord one. And or if you won in the Discord and you're a Patreon member, you're not going to win the Patreon one. At least to be able to give everyone a chance, but you have two chances to wind up winning. And if you are a subscriber on YouTube and you leave a comment, you are entered in to win. But you have to leave a comment and you've got to be a subscriber. And then lastly, yeah, these things just look so awesome. They're such a great feel. The artwork and the design is what really caught my eye and why I wanted to work with ComScan, because these are just some of the best looking order tokens out there. So I highly recommend them, and it will stand out compared to everyone else's. So yeah. And also, if you haven't head to thebirdacademy.com, head there now. The link is in the description. It's 50 cents a day, and you get lots of options to be able to work out with. So yeah, head on over there and check it out. But lastly, I just want to say thank you to every one of the Patreon members. Thank you, Grant, for signing up and becoming a member. Emperor Atlantis and Daniel Padilla, you do so much. You guys are awesome. So awesome. And then Tyson, again, bringing up the rear, fantastic. Love you, guy. And then Anthony Estrada, the backbone of the Patreon. Thank you so much for everything that you've been doing. You are a huge help with this channel, and just keep it up, guys. Thank you so much, and I hope all of you have an amazing day.